Hey guys, my hair's all messed up, but yeah. Okay, so I'm gonna do a reaction to Mr. Nightmare's video. The video actually came out yesterday, but for some reason it was deleted. So I looked at the comments or whatever, and then it said that he re-uploaded it just because of like any issues or fixed problems with the audio or something like that. So it's up a day later, like literally a day later. So and if I'm breathing heavily, I'm just gonna actually grab a drink. This is random, but yesterday I started like trying to like exercise eyes a little bit because I'm so skinny and like ew. So and I right now just started playing for 35 seconds, and a lot of people can probably I'll be there for much longer than that, but I can't. To be honest, I can't even do push-ups. Like I can't really do one. Maybe if you guys want, I can do like workout videos, even though I can't work out. Like do what I do, like I can record myself or something. I don't know. I don't know if you guys want to see that. Me exercising. I don't think anybody cares, but yeah. So if I'm breathing heavily or if I'm just kind of like, yeah, that's why I'm just kind of like, because I like just did a 35-second plank, and then for me, like I'm really skinny, so like my muscle, I was shaking. I was like it was so freaking like I was actually kind of thinking it's normal, like I'm gonna like pass out. And yeah, now down there like the abdomen is like really, because yesterday too. So anyway, enough jabbering. You guys don't care about that. You're here for the reaction. So let's see 4 disturbing real spring break tour stories. Let's get into it. Okay, let's see.
Spring break 2016. 3 friends and I were a little too late to book a worthwhile spring break trip like in Cancun or Miami or something like that. So we did what we thought was the next best thing. We Airbnb'd a beach house in Georgia for a good price last minute. The landlord left the key hidden in a plant on the front stoop. As soon as I unlocked the door and we stepped into the home, we could all agree there was a funky smell in the house. It wasn't necessarily a bad smell. It was just weird. The house was big though. It had a big first floor and huge second floor with 4 bedrooms.
Good.
We all had claim to our own room.
Oh, that was really nice.
We got there early in the day, so the sun was still out and strong. The 3 others, who I guess I'll introduce now, Todd, Nate, and Michael, were outside hanging on the beach. I went inside to look for a volleyball, because the landlord said there were a bunch of sports equipment in one of the upstairs closets.
Okay.
There was only one closet upstairs, though, so I checked it, and inside of it were things like badminton rackets, baseball gloves, frisbees, and a volleyball. Exactly where the woman had described.
Good.
When I shut the closet door, however, I realized the door to my bedroom was open. I had 100% closed it not even 15 minutes before.
Oh god.
I went outside to ask my friends which of them went in my room.
And
I
then?
didn't make a big deal about it, but I had to ask because I found that to be a little annoying. They all claimed they didn't go in my room, so I moved past it. I wasn't going to let it bother me too much. When the sun went down, we all got dressed to go to nearby clubs, which were supposed to be crowded due to spring break. I split off a bunch of times to get drinks from the bartender that I found cute, thinking somehow I'd have a chance with her. Of course, I was just acting like a drunk idiot. I guess I'd been mixing my drinks a little too much, because at some point I started feeling really sick. The house was walking distance from the club I was in, so I decided I'd walk to the house and see the rest of them tomorrow.
At what time?
When I got back to the front door, I put the key in the mailbox, as I told my friends I'd do if I left early. I made sure to lock the door behind me, and if any of my friends would come back, I'd assume they'd remember what I said.
Yeah.
I went straight to the bathroom upstairs, where I sat by the toilet waiting to puke. My head was spinning, but I just couldn't sum up the urge to finally puke.
Yeah, I never drink. Like, that's not my
As I
thing.
was sitting on the bathroom floor, I heard something outside, like something being dropped on the floor in one of the nearby bedrooms. I stood up and peeked outside. I stepped into the center hallway and noticed that the door to the room that Todd had claimed was cracked open. There was a small nightlight on in there. As I walked closer to the door, I noticed someone sitting on the bed. They were just sitting on the edge of the bed facing a wall. Was it Todd? I honestly couldn't tell at that point. It was only peeking through a tiny crack in the door. It really didn't look like Todd, though.
It's not Todd.
How would he have gotten in before me without the key?
Exactly.
In a split second, my heart started racing twice as fast, as I was looking at someone who I started to believe wasn't Todd.
Get out.
I
Call the
started
police.
backing away slowly, and of course, there was the slightest crack in the wood floor. The person sitting on the bed clicked their head to the left to face the door, and even through that tiny crack, I felt as if he was looking at me. It wasn't Todd. It was some random man who looked to be about 40. I ran to the bathroom and locked the door, not trying to be quiet anymore.
I was just gonna say get out of the
I tried
house.
calling my friend Todd, and as it was ringing, I saw the doorknob to the bathroom door pressed down slightly. The man on the other end was trying to open the door, but of course I locked it.
Yeah.
I heard footsteps walking away until they faded away completely.
Where'd he go?
Todd didn't pick up the phone. I
Great.
called the landlord. She didn't pick up either,
Great.
so I finally called 911.
There you go.
I asked them to send a police officer because there was someone who wasn't supposed to be in the house. A police car came to the house within a few minutes, and I ran to the front door to answer it,
And
asking
the
the
person was
officer
gone?
to look around the house with me. It wasn't a huge house overall. The first floor was a quick search, under the couches, in the closets, in the cabinets. Then we went upstairs, checking all the bedrooms, under the beds, and those closets.
Yeah.
It seemed clear. He made me fill out some report form, and he was on his way.
Yeah.
I still locked myself in the bathroom until my friends rang the bell. With all of them back, I finally felt safe. And when I told them what happened, they were all in shock. The next day,
How did he get
I
in?
called the landlord and told her, and she sounded very distraught after I described the man. She sounded confident that her crazy ex-boyfriend had somehow broken into the house and was expecting to find her there.
Oh,
It turned out the room Todd had claimed used to be the bedroom she and her ex would share.
that's why.
She offered to refund me and let us go home if we didn't feel safe.
Yeah.
Surprisingly, we agreed to stay the full week though,
Oh.
and actually nothing happened for the rest of the week.
Okay, good.
I feel like maybe the man figured that she had moved out.
Yeah.
I do wonder how things would have played out if she was home.
Well, probably not good. Yeah, like for me, I'm not a drinker. I never really drink. Like even if my dad says like drink this, it's like barely any alcohol. I'm like, no, I'm good. Like I'm never for that life.
My friends and I were on spring break in Miami.
Okay.
Late at night after hitting the clubs, we were walking back to the hotel. I guess we left super late because I don't remember seeing any people walking around anywhere besides the three of us. Then, a black car with tinted windows and blasting music came driving down the street. It
Okay.
slowed down when it came closer to us. And when we passed it, it stopped on the side of the road. I told my friends, don't look back, just keep walking. We came to an alleyway that we could cut across to get to our hotel, so we took it.
Alleyways are scary.
As the
Anytime.
three of us were halfway down the alleyway, we literally saw shadows of people behind us on the ground, exposed by an overhead alleyway light. We turned, and there were three guys walking behind us. I whispered at my friends to pick up the pace. We all knew it without saying it, that those guys were most likely the ones in that black car. My two friends were wearing heels, so trying to run wouldn't exactly work. One of the guys called out to us to stop. That only made us go even faster.
Stop, bitch! I'm gonna keep going.
The next
Stop.
thing we knew, one of them was grabbing my shoulder and forcing me to stop.
Oh my god.
My friend
Run.
Gina screamed so loud it could probably be heard for a mile. I screamed in a panic too, as I hit the guy with my bag repeatedly.
Good.
A couple other guys came in response to the commotion from the opposite end of the alleyway and told the three guys to back off.
Okay.
The three seemed to realize the fight wasn't worth it and walked away.
Okay.
I'd never been so happy to be white-knighted in my life.
Yeah, but why?
The two guys who saved us tried escorting us back to our hotel.
Yeah.
We were close enough now, and we wanted nothing to do with guys we didn't know at that point. We made it safely back and went home the next morning.
It's so random. Like, who the hell just like? Yeah, see, don't walk at nighttime. Always walk in pairs, even though they obviously did. But run if you see someone following you. Call the police right
For
away.
spring break, I went somewhere most college students don't go for that oh-so-coveted week of the year. I went snowboarding in Colorado.
Hmm.
My friend Kevin has a house there, so I took a flight with him, and we took an Uber to his house.
Uber, bad
There
idea.
was a lot of uphill driving through the snowy mountains of Colorado that I honestly can't even name. Kevin's family is loaded, so they have houses in multiple states.
Lucky.
We pulled up to a huge property. Snow was covering everything, so I couldn't see anything but his house, really. We didn't plan on snowboarding that day, as the sun was already going down, and we had 2 long days ahead of us anyway.
Yeah, so you could do it then.
Kevin had to unlock everything in the house. It had been a month since he had come last. Kevin made a couple frozen pizzas that were left in the freezer, and we ate those for dinner.
For how
The rest of
long?
the night, we just drank and played video games.
Okay.
The house had a beautiful main floor that sat
That
with
looks
the
like a
ground
really
level
nice house. That looks
outside.
really nice. That looks beautiful.
Kevin didn't keep any of the blinds shut because he said the closest neighbor was about half a mile away. It was definitely a pretty private property.
Red flag.
That's why when we both heard a thump at the window, it was that much more bone-chilling. Both our heads jolted to the window like an animal that just heard a predator approaching.
Be like,
We paused the game and walked over to the window that thump just came from.
and?
Of course, we couldn't see anything outside because it was pitch black and snowing outside.
Yeah.
But we did, however, see a distinct handprint on the glass that came from the other side. Needless to say, we were both spooked. Kevin wanted to go out there with a couple batons that his dad kept under his bed upstairs.
Yeah.
I told him that's a stupid idea, but he seemed more angry than anything at this point that someone would trespass on his property and invade our privacy like that.
That's true.
So he convinced me to go with him. We threw back on our coats and boots, and into the snow we went.
Oh god, what's gonna happen
I
here?
followed him since he was holding the lantern. Yes,
Yeah.
he had a lantern instead of a flashlight. We went to the
Okay.
side of his house.
You
I
do
found
you.
myself almost slipping and falling, walking a slight uphill several times. He turned down a light on the side of his house, which lit up the area by the window where we heard the thump.
Okay.
If our suspicion of being watched wasn't already confirmed, then it was when we saw the two-way footsteps in the snow leading to and from the window. We started to follow them.
Oh no.
They led into a small patch of woods, and we continued to follow.
Oh my god.
At this point, I asked Kevin if we should just forget about it. He didn't even answer me, so I knew to shut up.
Like, I guess you should, you know what I mean? Like,
Footsteps left the small patch of woods and entered a clearing. Kevin stopped me and muttered, "What the fuck is that?"
what?
In the very near distance, there appeared to be these identical objects spaced out evenly. There were 4 of them. They stood tall like a person. Kevin took a few more steps forward, leaned his upper body in to take a closer look, I guess, then turned to me and said, "Let's get the fuck out of here."
What?
I hurried back with him, asking what he thinks those things were.
Yeah, what is it?
He said, "I don't know, but they look like human silhouettes strung up on some kind of sticks." The words that came out of his mouth shook me.
Scarecrows? Like,
I never felt more relieved than when we got back to his house.
did it happen
This
again?
time he shut every blind in the house and double-checked all the doors.
Yeah, damn right.
The next morning, first thing we did was walk back over to that clearing. We walked around it for about 10 minutes, searching. We didn't find any bodies or anything like that, but we did find 4 big wooden poles almost identical in size. We had zero explanation for this whole scenario. It was bizarre and it was downright disturbing. We had to debate whether to even go snowboarding that day, and we did. But I can't say I wasn't thinking about what we saw the night before the entire day.
Yeah, it's creepy. Like, always shut your blinds. I don't care if you live a million blocks away from a person. Anybody could be there watching you, so close your blinds.
Last
Lock your
year I
doors.
went to Miami for spring break.
Of course, Miami.
A few days before I went, I had a horrible dream.
Of course you did.
I was playing video games in my basement when I heard a noise come from a closet. I walked over to the closet and opened it. And quite simply, there was a man with a distinct face I remember vividly in my head, just standing in there. It was like my brain playing a jump scare on me in my dream, because I woke up with my heart racing. Well, fast forward our first day on spring break in Miami. We were on South Beach and there were thousands of people. In
That's
fact,
a
you
lot
could
of
hardly
people.
walk.
That's a lot of people.
I was with my friends, of course, who were probably having more fun than me since I'm not the biggest fan of crowds.
Yeah.
All I saw around me besides my friends were unfamiliar faces, until I saw this one guy, not dancing, not moving, just standing behind a couple people, but looking at me.
Oh, okay, what do you
I
want?
made eye contact with him for maybe 3 seconds before looking away and moving closer to my friends.
Yeah, kind of like, don't look
I
any
told
bitch.
one of my friends that some older man was just
some
staring
older
at me
guy.
like a creep. When we looked at where he was standing, he was gone. The 5 of us migrated closer to the water and music, where the crowd got even thicker and the people seemed to get drunker.
Okay.
I was looking around when once again, I saw that man, blending in with the crowd, but just looking at me.
What do you want?
I looked at him for a few seconds again. I grabbed my friend Trish and pointed at the man and said, "That guy keeps looking at me." She said, "Just ignore it." She went back to dancing.
don't know.
I
He might do
started getting
something.
a sickly feeling in my stomach about it.
He's obviously
So I
planning
ran through
something.
the crowd and looked back every few seconds. I knew I'd seen that man's face before, but I couldn't put my finger on where just yet. I made it through the crowd and got back to the hotel room, where I sat on the bed with my hand on my head, gathering my thoughts.
Okay.
Then it hit me. I felt like throwing up when I realized it. It was the man from my dream, the man who was in the closet. I texted my friend Trish and waited a few minutes.
I did
before
not
he
expect that,
answered.
to be honest.
She said she didn't see who I was pointing at earlier. She just thought I should ignore whoever it was.
That's so creepy.
I went back out there and didn't see the man again. But I swear this is something that actually happened to me, and I still don't know how to explain it. I got plenty of sleep. I don't think I could have hallucinated seeing that man. But how could I see a man who had literally been in a dream I had a couple nights before?
Yeah, I know. What? That's so
It is
weird.
easily the scariest and most unreal thing that's ever happened to me in my life.
I'm not gonna lie, that is kind of weird. Like, it's like you're dreaming of someone, then like the next day or a few days later, you're kind of like, that guy looks familiar. Shit, he's from my dream. He was in my closet. I was kind of thinking that the dream would come true at that point, because I was kind of like, okay, so you're probably going to see him in your closet then. But it's so weird, because like, how do you know what you're gonna see before? It's like you're a psychic, you know what's gonna happen, or like you kind of, and then the fact that he was like looking at you too, it's as if he had plans to like be in your room or something. That's so creepy. I don't even know what to say to that. It's just kind of scary. Like, oh my goodness. And I wouldn't. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I'm still looking at the comments. I know a spring break horror story, having homework assigned the day before spring break. That's true. A true horror story, spring break ending. Accurate. Yeah, like for me, I don't drink. I don't ever like I don't drink. I don't go away for spring break. I would assume spring break is March break. So when I went to school, I literally just did nothing. I was like, "Yay, March break! I'm just gonna party and sleep all day." That's literally what I did. I never went anywhere for that shit. I don't, I don't do that. No. So anyway, that's it. So I hope you guys liked this reaction. Probably not, because I suck. But if you liked it, then awesome. If you didn't, then can't blame you. Yeah, I'm tired. I'm just like, ugh. I want to get buff though. If you guys have any like comments or like any suggestions that I can do to like do exercises every day, I was planning on doing kind of like something for my arms, because like my chest area and then here, like I want to like build, not like a freaking bodybuilder, but just like hot, like like abs or something, and an actual muscle. Because like even at work, I can barely lift shit. Like I feel so weak, and then it's embarrassing. Anyway, so again, if you guys like this video, subscribe, share it with your friends. They probably won't watch it because they'll see my ugly face, but Ow, that hurt. Yeah, my stomach hurts. Anyway, I'll see you guys in the next video, and bye. I can't reach the power button.